This is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Small Business Update with Tom Sullivan, exclusively on ASBN.com.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the U.S. Chamber Small Business Update. They say that policy can open doors or close them, and the new One Big Beautiful Bill could be just the biggest door you've ever seen. So Tom Sullivan is the Chamber's go-to voice on small business issues, and he leads the U.S. Chamber Small Business Council, helping entrepreneurs understand what this new law means for them. So Tom, thank you so much for joining me on the show once again.
Jim, thank you for having me. And what a great lead in, talking about how the One Big Beautiful Bill Act kind of opens the door for small business. So it's great to be here.
It really does. There's no question about it. In simple terms, for those that may not be as familiar with it as you and I are, what is the One Big Beautiful Bill, and why should every small business owner be paying attention right now?
Well, there's two things. First of all, the right now. Mm-hmm. You and I have talked about this every month.
Yeah.
Cash is king.
That's right.
Small business owners need cash so that they can hire the best employees, pay their best employees more, add benefits, expand their operations. This tax bill frees up cash now. So that's the first and probably most important thing that this bill does. Mm-hmm. The second, equally as important but not as urgent, is that it makes a number of low tax provisions for small business permanent. Mm-hmm. So 5 years ago, they were temporary, and things like the research and development immediate expensing, that actually expired. So small business owners were having to amortize research and development expenses over 5 years. And they weren't really quite sure, why did this happen after 40 years of immediate expensing?
Right.
And so now Congress did the right thing to say, wait a minute, research and development expenses must be immediately expensable, and let's make it permanent. That gives small business owners the opportunity to plan ahead, make the investments now, but more importantly, have the confidence that the tax code isn't going to change like a roller coaster and then end up hurting their long-term investment. So one, urgency to free up cash now. Two, permanency that creates the type of predictability we think Main Street employers need to grow.
That's right. That's right. One of the headline changes is the permanent qualified business income deduction. For a business owner, what questions should they be asking themselves to know if they can benefit from this?
Sure. So first of all, I think every small business owner that needs cash freed up should call their tax advisor like right now and ask a very simple question. Do I qualify for a 20% qualified business income deduction, QBI? If small business owners have never heard the term QBI, they should probably stop listening to this broadcast and call their tax advisor.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But sole proprietors, LLCs, S Corps, those are all businesses that can benefit from this 20% deduction. And knowing more about it really is up to that small business owner and their tax advisor. So I'm glad that you pointed out that, because that 20% deduction was set to expire at the end of the year, which would have been a massive tax hike. And Congress did the right thing. They made it permanent.
Yeah, for sure. So the bill also raises the SALT deduction cap. How might that change the way small business owners approach their tax planning?
So the SALT, state and local taxes, there's always been the deductibility of what you're paying federally into what you pay in state taxes, because no one likes to be taxed twice.
Right.
We all don't really like to be taxed once, but it's even worse if you're taxed twice.
Right.
And there's been this tension about paying less federally, but paying more at a state. And a lot of small business owners just said, well, like that doesn't make sense. Yeah. And so Congress did the right thing and kind of raised that threshold so that you don't end up lowering federal taxes and then raising state taxes, which really would have just been kind of a wash for small business owners. And really, the whole intent of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act is to free up capital for small businesses that need that capital to grow.
That's right.
Again, those small business owners should talk with their tax advisors to know exactly what type of cash can be freed up, what types of investments they can make to maximize the benefits of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So there are new incentives for investments like 100% bonus depreciation and R&D expense deductions as mentioned. But what should a small business be thinking about before making those kinds of purchases or investments?
Well, a lot of small business owners know what 179 expensing is. And that, just to translate it for people who are not tax experts like me, the 179 expensing applies to equipment, computers, office furniture. That was capped at $1.25 million. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act actually doubled that cap to $2.5 million. So again, that frees up you can spend cash without tying up assets that you would be worried about taking a hit to IRS later in the year. Now, you mentioned bonus depreciation. It's like this added benefit. And this is where you and I were chuckling before the shows. I sound like a Ginsu knife salesman. It's like, but wait, there's more.
There's more.
Because once you hit that $2.5 million cap, 100% bonus depreciation kicks in. So if you're making an investment that actually blows through that $2.5 million cap, you still get 100% bonus depreciation. Now we're talking some complexities that absolutely necessitate a small business owner talking with their tax advisor. But again, this idea of Congress realizing that in order for the United States to remain competitive, they really need to have the wind at the back of small business owners that want to grow and create that competitive environment so that the United States stays ahead. So all of this is intentional. It's meant to help Main Street employers grow. And I'll just mention, it's not just about the business owners themselves. Congress realized that employees are the most valuable asset of any small business owner. And so that's why no tax on tips, no tax on overtime is intended to not only help the small business owner, but more importantly, help their employees. And I know a lot of small businesses, they're talking with their tax advisors on how to have that conversation with their employees to say, hey, look, like, I want you to be here. I want you to work hard. And guess what? I'm going to work with you so that there's no tax on your tips, no tax on overtime. That's a great conversation small business owners want to have with their employees.
Well, there's no question about it. It just enhances that position with that small business or that at any level, really. But it helps so much, especially in the area of hospitality. In a very, very big way. Are there any potential pitfalls or hidden challenges in the bill that small business owners should be aware of before making big moves?
Yeah, Jim, I think the biggest pitfall really is folks waking up in January and February and saying, oh my gosh, I wish I had listened to Jim a couple months ago and made this investment, because now I'm only dealing with 2026, not 2025.
Right.
These types of incentives that free up cash for growth, they apply to purchases going back to January 20th of this year. So I think that the biggest challenge, the biggest potential pitfall is that people wait till January, February to take advantage of these growth opportunities, because by then it's never too late. But you've got to amend your past tax returns, and it gets complicated. It's better to talk with your tax advisor now.
100%.
Look at what you can do for 2025.
That's right.
And then build on that for 2026.
That's right. That's right. Hey, switching gears a little bit with you for a second. Talk to us about the Co 100 event that you've got coming up there in DC. It is a very, very exciting event. I know a lot of small business owners get so much out of it. So touch on that, if you would, for just a second.
Sure. I mean, this is the greatest week of the year at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce in October, where we celebrate the top 100 small businesses in the nation. We already have panels of judges kind of sifting through thousands of applications. It is a humbling experience.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing in writing the hopes and dreams and accomplishments of these men and women really is inspiring.
Sure.
And then we get to meet these people in person. You get to meet these
That's
people
right.
in person.
We were there last year. It was just an amazing first-class event. It felt like you were going to the Oscars. It was just, you guys did just an incredible job with that event.
Well, you were always wondering what in CO, what does the O stand for? Of course it means the Oscars.
There you go.
It is. It's the Oscars of small business.
Yeah,
and we're just thrilled that ASBN is again going to be part of it. If you can't tell, I'm excited about it. It's only the summer now, but I can't wait till October to meet these men and women. They're great.
It really is. The people that you had there and the recipients of this that were out were so excited to be there and to share their stories. Many of them we captured on video for our viewing audience. And I know that the small business owners got a lot out of that extra exposure, but we got so many great comments from all of our subscribers and our audience members that said, wow, this thing's incredible. I got to participate in this next year. How do I get involved? So it's going to be exciting to be out there this year as well. But as I said, you guys put on a first class operation. I will ask you this question, as I think I may ask you in every other show, but and it's one that's asked of us all the time. With all that we hear out there, and obviously the One Big Beautiful Bill helped in a very big way, to help answer this question. But is now a good time for those standing on the sidelines that haven't jumped in the water yet? Is now a good time to open up a business, Tom? You're there in D.C., you got your hand on the pulse of not just small business, but the economy as well. What say you on this question?
Well, Jim, I'll give you the same answer that a past guest of yours, Kelly Loeffler, the administrator of SBA, would give you. And that is, there is no better time than right now to start a business. And there's two reasons. First, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Technology has always been the great equalizer between small businesses competing with large multinationals. And the advent of artificial intelligence is only making that better, easier, and really transformative. So the advent of AI and its use and its ability for small business owners to use it to compete with global multinationals, that is happening now. The second, though, is that we are in a growth mode because of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And as you know, you want to surf that wave right when it's peaking.
That's right.
And that's where we are. So yes, I think now is a great time to start a small business.
No question. And if the president gets his way, as I believe he will, and we get a new Fed chair, we might see rates drop drastically. And I will tell you, for small business owners, you should be in position when that happens, because I think you're going to see quite a spike in the overall economy, and everybody's going to benefit from something like that. So it'll be really exciting to see. So I think the next 4 years is going to be nothing but blue skies ahead. So Tom Sullivan, the Vice President of Small Business Policy at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much for joining us once again for the U.S. Chamber update. We very much appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you next month at the event.
Can't wait. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Small Business Update with Tom Sullivan.